Share your good news. What does your life look like right now compared to where it was when we first started the program?
So I am happily employed, but was always seeking something different. I don't think I had the motivation, the courage, the confidence to even tackle like the first interview. There's a lot of confusion what that black box was. And I feel like you dismantled that. And so I feel like after our session, I'm out with more confidence, more reassurance of how to navigate interviews, what to expect. And I will be employed at Meta again. Uh, but with more confidence and knowing like, what to expect and just to know my self-worth and not being afraid of being a new mom.
Yeah, congratulations on that too.
Yeah. And just taking it on like full force head on.
Yeah. Your life is like different than when we first met. Like when we first started, I remember you would also say the pay is less than what I used to make. And we just had this lease on this place, or maybe we bought this place. I don't remember. It was a lot to pay on the monthly basis. I'm like, I don't feel that comfortable. I need to be making more. And you're talking about on the personal front as well. Like you guys are starting to talk about more serious, but now you got a new job, you got a dream job. It's going to probably be tough, but you are tough, so it's going to be fine. You're expecting a child, so that is like the ultimate next step. Oh, and you're engaged.
Yeah.
Remember
All the milestones.
and so a lot of things happen. All the things are the result of your internal transformation. Meta is not easier than Stripe by any means, but you got that. And even back then, I was always telling you, like, you know what, you can get any roles that you want if you really wanted. Did they actually tell you about the leveling already? What are you going to come in for? I see 6. Oh my God, congratulations. That's awesome. That's a bump.
Yeah. Huge bump.
Amazing.
It's 240 base.
What the increase? It's like 50K more or something in terms of the overall.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah.
150K more, girl.
I know.
It's like it's over 12K a month more.
I know.
What are you going to do with that money?
Get a night nanny so I could sleep. There's a strategy to this, and
Yeah.
I'm like getting a nanny, getting a night nanny so I can have my life sleep. That's like my priority.
Do you remember when you came to me? What situation were you in?
So I was at Meta for 7 years, and then I got laid off, surprisingly, and I feel like my world just collapsed, and
Yeah.
I was very lost and just very confused and just concerned about finances or what my next steps were.
What would you say is the biggest internal transformation that made all this happen?
I think there was like a lot of like self-reflection, and there was like a pivot from almost complacency and acceptance.
Yeah.
My exist like what I had versus having that fire lit under me again and having that drive. Because I think I definitely got my ego beat a little bit after getting laid off, and just like continuously talking to you and just getting perspective driven into me, like a different framework of thinking, just really helped me shift my mindset and never stop wanting to be better.
But having said that, it is a high budget for a lot of people. And so what would you say to someone who is on the fence, who really want to do that, but hesitating? What kind of advice would you have for them?
I too was on the fence, and I tried all the free stuff, but those people are great in their own right. But I think there is that special sauce, as I mentioned before. There's a lot of wisdom and experience that you have coming from big tech, being in a leadership role, and then transitioning your life out. So you have both perspectives. One is, do I want another path? And I'm like walking away from this amazing job to do something I really am passionate and care about. I think that's huge. Not a lot of people can say that. Not a lot of people can come from big tech and make a huge pivot. And that's worth having experience, and me being able to learn all that, and just your perspective is worth every penny, in my opinion. I have no regret. And the fact that I'm like, I have a job that will cover that at the end of the day. And it's just investing in yourself. I don't think we have that opportunity to do that a lot in our lives. And people go out to eat dinners, flights, And that's like temporary happiness. But I feel like there's a level of content and happiness that you get from working with you that is best for the long run.
What was it for you in particular that you thought, okay, this is the secret sauce that I don't see in other people?
I think the secret sauce that I saw was just your skill set and the amount of experience you had in a space and the level of success you had. And you chose a different path. And I thought that was really fascinating to me that you chose a path that felt right in your heart. There was no dollar amount that could steer you in another direction. And I think I needed that perspective. And you just come with so much knowledge of what felt right, what you did, and how you became successful in your own path. So I thought that was something I needed to hear, and just getting coached on not just going back to research, but also looking at other opportunities and other paths I could take. And granted, I'm still in research, but it was really gratifying to have that experience and that exposure to your life choices, which helped me.
In the midst of foundational exploratory, you actually also hop on job interviews. Was it with Stripe maybe or PayPal? One of them. And then it didn't pan out. Well, how did you feel during that time?
I think the initial reaction was my ego was a little burnt.
Yeah.
I think that talking to you, you gave a caring, cold-hearted truth, but it's like what I need.
Yeah. You remember what it was? I roughly
I
remember.
think you were just like, I don't think you really wanted it. I think what you said to me was like, if you really wanted it, you would have like planned it in a way that would have let you have it. And the way you scheduled it and the timing meant that it was rushed and you didn't really care about it. And I think I keep that in the back of my mind about my decisions now. I don't know. I've talked to other career coaches and they're very gentle and coddling and let me hear what I want to hear, but that's not what I want to hear. I want to know how to be better. And I feel like you could provide that.
What would you say from the moment that you made the decision to, okay, I can do it and I want it, to then landing the offer? Well, how long did it take and how was that process? How did it feel different than before?
I think a lot of my decisions were driven on fear and uncertainty and doubt. And I think the energy that I after our sessions and I don't know, my fiance was just like, yeah, you definitely act differently. And I've heard you in your interviews and you're just more confident in the way you talk and sometimes you're a different person and I think that's fault. No, he said that. It was really funny. So it's just I think the way I carry myself, the way I hold myself and think about what the value I have and can provide, I think that shifted and just knowing that I do have my options and my actions are a result of what I actually want.
Anything else that you want to share with folks who are thinking of getting coaching or starting the coaching program with me?
Just that it's like not the usual thing for someone to do, but it's something that's like worth it for yourself and just seeing the difference in the 6 months that we were together and progression, it exceeded my expectations. So it doesn't hurt to give that first call and just check it out. I think that just having that first meeting with you, like the free 30 minutes just goes a long way and really shows what you're in for. And I think all that self-doubt is worth that free 30-minute call. They'll justify and like really understand what you're going to get out of it and the value that it provides.
If you ever want to become a coach, I'm here for that too, okay? Or therapist or whatever that next step might be after this. Because once you have your child, you might also have another very drastic turnaround. We'll see.
Still in my line of sight, like it's not something that's off the table. I think it's just about this time, but we'll definitely connect on that.